Yeah, we do eat food, and the word of God fuels us, fuels our spirit, edifies us, but we need physical food to keep this body relevant here on. Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nicola Adeyemi, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for watching. Thank you for always watching. I really appreciate your support, and if you're watching for the first time, you're welcome, and remember to click the subscribe button, like, and drop a comment if you enjoyed watching my video. Okay, so last week I was supposed to upload a video, but I couldn't. I had a lot of deadlines to meet up with, so I couldn't squeeze out time to do a video. I'm so sorry about that, but we are here now. Good to be here. All right, so this week I'll be sharing with you tips on how to get the perfect Nigerian jollof. And yes, Nigerian jollof is the best.
Yeah, we're talking food, like I always say, we're a Christian faith and lifestyle blog. So
food, and the word of God fuels us, fuels our spirit, edifies us, but we need physical food to keep this body relevant here on earth. So I'll be sharing tips with you. So let's get into that quickly. All right, so one of the first things that trips us that usually trips people up with jollof is the color. You know, you make your jollof and somehow it's looking like concussion rice. Nobody likes that, and it's so annoying, especially if you've put your all into making it and then it just doesn't turn out right. So the tip to making sure you have the perfect jollof color is using your fresh ingredients, your red ingredients, that is the tomato, the pepper, the tatashe. I didn't have tatashe in my own when I was making this jollof, but I substituted it with shombo, which is chili pepper, and it's not a bad substitute, and I don't mind really hot jollof rice. So make sure you have your tatashe, and it should be like a 1-to-1 ratio with your tomato. So you should have almost as much tatashe as tomatoes. So that really gives your rice this really vibrant red color that we usually want when we are making jollof rice. All right, so once you have that, then make sure you have your tomato paste. If you leave out the tomato paste, you just might not get that deep, rich color that you would love for your jollof rice. So make sure you have your tomato paste already. Also, and go for really good brands, because some brands just so go for a really good brand of tomato paste, and make sure your pepper, tomato, red bell pepper are really, really red and really nice. Okay. So the second thing I'll be talking about is the taste of the rice. Many times you get you might have cooked, I don't know if you have cooked jollof rice before, and then it gives you this tomatoey taste. What's the word? I can't we'll go with tomatoey. Yeah, so it gives this really tomatoey taste because there's a lot of your fresh tomatoes and your tomato paste going into your sauce. So if it's not cooked right, it gives a tomatoey taste. So the way to tackle this problem is to make sure you cook your sauce perfectly. If you are making jollof rice, don't even bother watching your watch. If there's one thing you need to have at the back of your mind when you're making your jollof rice, is that you need ample time. You need enough time to make sure everything cooks well. So there's no rush work with jollof rice. If you rush it, it will most likely not turn out as well as you would want it to. So no rushing. Let's get that. So whenever you want to try these tips I'm giving you out, or you want to just cook your jollof rice, be ready to dedicate sufficient time to it. So when you have your tomato, tatashe, rodo, all your pepper, tomato, and everything blended, and you've poured it into the hot oil in your pot, make sure you fry that pepper sauce perfectly. Fry it to the point where when you scoop up some of the sauce from the pot, it still gives this, it looks almost as though it's simmering while in the spoon. That is when you know that your pepper sauce has cooked and fried to the perfect state, and that is how you want it to be. So it is until you've gotten that simmering effect, you've cooked and stirred your pepper sauce sufficiently, that you would now be able to add your water and your chicken or beef stock, depending on what broth you have. So you can add your chicken broth or beef broth into your. Then the third thing is sogginess. One major complaint with jollof is that it tends to be soggy. It's either it's really soft or really soggy, and if it's not that, if you are so careful not to make it soggy, sometimes you find this hard, and you know when your rice is hard, you won't really enjoy eating it. So a good number of people complain about sogginess or softness, or that it's too hard, or in more terrible cases, uneven cooking. So what you do to avoid soggy or overly soft jollof rice is to make sure whatever water you use for cooking a particular amount of plain rice, you should reduce that water by 1/4 for your jollof rice. So if you are making, for instance, maybe you need a cup of water to make a cup of rice, if you need a cup of water to make a cup of plain rice, when you are doing that measurement for your, when you're doing that exact rice measurement for your jollof rice, make sure you take out about 1/4 from your water. So you'll be using, I think, 3/4 of water instead for your rice. So you take out some amount of the water. Don't use this exact amount you would use for the same quantity in plain rice for your jollof. So because the pepper sauce also contributes some moisture to your rice, so you have to factor all of that in. Also factor in your chicken or beef broth, because that is also, it has happened to me before where I'm just so excited, this jollof is going to be so sweet and all of that, and then after frying my stew, the pepper sauce, and it's all looking nice and all that, I pour in so much water without taking into consideration that I haven't added my chicken or my broth into the mix. And because that your chicken or beef broth gives that distinct taste to your food, you just want to squeeze it in, and then you end up with very soggy rice. So don't do that. Before you even cook your rice, make sure you have your water measured out, taking into consideration your meat broth. All right, so now to my special or secret tip for getting that perfectly cooked jollof rice. Drum roll, please. So wait for it, sit down. Pressure pot. No, pressure pot, yes. Pressure pot has been doing wonders for my jollof since I can't even begin to recall. But what the pressure pot does is that it seals in all of the steam. So you really do not need so much water, because it keeps in a good amount of steam that cooks your rice evenly. So you don't have this problem of some parts of the rice being well cooked and others still being hard. It cooks your jollof evenly, and then it just cooks it perfectly. It's not soft, it's not too soggy, it's not too hard. It's just perfect. For every bite, just comes out perfect. So yeah, pressure pot. Who knew? So but that's my secret to getting my perfect jollof rice. And if you do not have a pressure pot, what you can do to still achieve, to a very large extent, the same effect is to get a foil paper and cover your pot after you've added your meat stock, chicken stock, everything, and you've added your rice, and you've added all the necessary ingredients. Just cover your pot with aluminum foil paper, and seal the sides, the edges of the pot around, to make sure that it keeps the steam in as much as possible before covering it with the lid of the pot, and that will give you an evenly cooked. Major secrets to getting a perfectly cooked rice. And if you have met anybody that has eaten my rice, I'm not just bragging and I'm not even going to be humble about this. My jollof rice is to die for. It's perfect. There's always a consistency with the taste and the outcome. So try this tip, and I'm sure you would be grateful. Yeah, you'd love it and you'd start getting better jollof results.
To cook your Nigerian jollof rice, you'll be needing all of these ingredients. Make sure you blend your pepper and your tomato smoothly in the blender. Then heat a little oil in your pot. Add your pepper, blended pepper into it. Let it cook and simmer for a while until when you scoop the sauce, you get a simmering effect in your spoon. Then add in your other ingredients, the dry ingredients, and let it cook for some minutes, and voila, bon appetit.
So yeah, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, remember to hit the subscribe button, like, comment. I would love to know how these tips work for you, and if you have any questions, just drop them in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Alright, so have a lovely day. See you soon. Yeah. Bye.